Taking the first steps in business sometimes can be real challenging and quite difficult and quite stressful. Our topics tonight are aimed at the important business skills of creating a business budget and a planner and getting a map, a roadmap to where you want to go with your business and pretty much how fast you want to get there. So we're going to be talking about creating budgets and business plans tonight and trying to do it in such a way that we don't catch analysis paralysis, make it a fun evening of learning, and just get on with getting this business started. We got a brand new season, some cool days, and very pleasant nights. So let's move forward if you'd like. My name is Steve Carver. I'm in Dunn, North Carolina, which is right over in the center of the state on Interstate 95, about halfway between South Carolina and Virginia. This is our presentation number 1200. After 16 years, we finally reached the 1200 presentations mark, which is quite a milepost. And I'm certainly glad that you're all with us tonight to help celebrate that and be a part of it. So we're going to move on forward. Let me say to you, first of all, I'm not a lawyer or an accountant or tax attorney or anything like that, but I am a fellow that's been in business for 66 consecutive years and counting. Very happy to say that because I enjoy doing business and I enjoy doing entrepreneur workshops and helping folks just like you start your journey into entrepreneurship and help me continue mine. And we'll always be willing to work together with you and look forward to it. You're welcome to turn on your videos if you like. I really like it when I have more faces to look at and to talk to, and it really helps me. And I appreciate that Johanna's got her video on, and good to have you all with us, no doubt. And the main thing I'm doing tonight is offering you free advice and the reflections from a lot of years in business. And first piece of advice I always offer to you is to get a second or a third opinion before you make a major business decision that's affecting your security, your financial situations. There's a lot of people in this organization that I'm associated with, the small business centers and other presenters for your webinars and seminars. We'd love to help you. That's why we're here. Nothing that I do is going to cost you any money. Nothing that the small business centers will do for you. There's a cost involved. So I invite you to take advantage of that opportunity. I've seen thousands of people take the advantage of those resources to really help move their businesses forward. If you're in an area in North Carolina, there's a small business center fairly close to you, and those folks are dedicated to helping you. It's just up to you to get in touch with them. If you don't know where the closest center is to you, use the chat board to give me your name and email address, or send me an email. My email address is right there for you as well. And let me know that, and I'll help get the information to you to have that small business center be ready to help you. Tonight, we're sponsored by the one at James Sprunk Community College over in Kenansville, North Carolina. The director there is Joy Wynn, who is a magnificent director, a person who really cares about entrepreneurs and helping folks get their businesses up and running. Several of y'all are very close to her office at Warsaw, and she would be glad to have a meeting with you, or maybe even come to your site and look it over. So give Joy a call at 910-659-6008. She's waiting for your call when you can give her a call tomorrow, and get a relationship started, and she's there to serve you in your business. Her administrative assistant is Lynn Murphy, a wonderful lady whose expertise is mainly in commercial kitchens. So if you are doing catering or a food truck or have a need for a commercial kitchen and want to learn more about it, what the rules, the do's and the don'ts are, you've certainly got a good opportunity to give Lynn a call, and she'll help you as much as she possibly can. Related to tonight's class, study guides have been mailed to you, emailed to you, or I will mail them to you tomorrow. The main one to print out, if you like to do that, would be the one with the number on it. And tonight it's that magic number 1200, which is an outline of everything we're going to talk about tonight, plus a lot of other good information. I suggest that you start a file on your computer where you save these study guides that I'm sending to you, because they can really help you down the road, and you can refer back to them. So set up a file on your computer, just call it your business journey, and start saving these, and you'll be able to use them often to do that. So the study guides are important. So we're into week number 2 of an 8-week journey. We're going steady on Tuesday nights, and I certainly appreciate y'all coming back to be with us, and I look forward to it. And I'm planning to serve you for the next Tuesday nights, not only through this session, but all the way up until just before Christmas, if you just want to plan for your Tuesday nights to be your study night in business. Tonight we're going to be talking about business planning and budgeting. Next week on Tuesday night, we'll be talking about pricing, products, and service. I'll give you a heads up. If you don't want to wait till next week, you're welcome to join us tomorrow night. Wednesday night, our only Wednesday night session, will be on pricing, products, and services as well. If you want to tune in for that, we'll be glad to have you. And then you can come back next Tuesday night if you'd like, and we'll do it again. So after that, in week 4, we'll be talking about marketing, how to find customers. In week 5, cash flow and bookkeeping, negotiating, forecasting, taxes, and tips about selling. And if you're in the Clinton area, we'll have a in-person roundtable in Clinton on over into October. I would like for each of you to find me on Facebook. Facebook is a great communication opportunity for us to see how our other classmates are doing, what they're presenting. We share information and help share information with them. If you would, it's Steve Carver, just that simple. And as you're checking out all those with that same name, I'll be the one with the blue sky with the clouds in it, a lot of sunshine. So find me there. Let's be friends, and I'll get back to you. And then you can better see how we're helping each other by sharing information about the different work that you're doing. I'll look forward to working with you there. I want to remind you that I believe, and I want you to believe, that we are all made, you are made for a whole lot more than maybe what we realize. I know that I am. I've learned and grown every day. I'm going to beg you not to give up on me just because I'm 78 years old. I'm not giving up. I'm looking forward to doing it for a lot more years. So don't give up on me. And my promise to you is, my friends, I will not give up on you either. You got my thumbs up, and I'll be at your back and helping you any way that I possibly can. Look forward to it. So many new folks tonight. You're very welcome and to be with us. So glad to have you. Michelle, it's good to have you. And Sam, thanks for joining us. And Dee, glad to have you with us as well. I'll lay out a lot of information tonight, more than probably anyone could absorb in an hour and a half or 2-hour period as we're working. But it's kind of like a family dinner. I'm going to sit at the table and have plenty of stuff out here for you to enjoy and pick up and do it. Use what you can. Don't overstuff yourself. You can come back, or you can watch the videos. Of trying to make notes too fast just don't work. Come as you are. Come even if you come late. We're always welcome to have you, and we encourage you to invite other people to come as well. I've had classes as large as 101 folks at them, so I would look forward to large crowds, but the small ones are good too. Take what you want. You're welcome to do it. You're not forced to do anything. We'll certainly enjoy it. You can win certificates. You can earn certificates by attending at least 6 of our 8 classes. So you can start tonight and attend the rest of them, and you'll qualify for your classes, for your certificate. They're really nice. They're frameable, look good. One of our regular Academy members does them for us, and we send them out to you by mail. So if you'd like to earn a certificate, just all you have to do is attend six classes, and you're in the groove. That's why we keep up with the attendance. If you indeed want to take what I'm offering and push harder and do the assignments, I'll give you opportunities with homework assignments. different things that you can achieve and study and share with the class to earn even more certificates and become a member of the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. And that's a great title, and it looks really good on your certificate, and you can take that certificate and about $2 and get a cup of coffee most anywhere. But it's mainly there for you to remind yourself how hard you worked to help get your business up and growing, and doing that through some of the assignments that you've done. And we've got some folks already started on it, and we'll share that with you tonight. Extra Mile Awards, the more you do, the more certificates we'll be glad to send to you, so you can just wallpaper your office with them, and happy to do that. I'm keeping up with attendance each week so we can tell how many you're attending, and also who our friends are, and stay in touch with them. You can notice on the board here that there's a lot of you, I don't have your hometown, or some of you don't have your email addresses or even last names. So if you see a name here and I don't have that information, like Sam, I don't have your last name there, and what town you're from. So if you'll fill those blanks in over in the chat board, that'll help us be more complete. And a good crowd last week and a good crowd tonight. And same thing applies here. Looks like we got all the information on you folks except for Naomi. So she joins us tonight. We'll be glad to get more information about her. So share it, and that way we can help you. So it's your choice how much you want to do, and we do have some folks that are already going the extra mile. We'll give a shout out to Sherry McQuarrie, who is with us tonight. Thanks you so much, Sherry, for sending me information. Sherry is an aspiring author. She's just getting started and showing some real progress. We've had right miscommunication with each other, and as her project moves forward, she's will authorize me to share more information with you. But right now, let's pray for Sherry to find that inspiration that she needs to complete her book that she's already done a couple of chapters in. She's writing real well, easy to read, easy to understand. So Sherry, thank you so much for what you're trying to achieve to help other people, which is a big feather in your cap in my book. So God bless you, and keep up the good work. We've also got an extra miler tonight that has been with us. I want us all to give Kevin a big hand. I'm going to show you basically how a new business can get started in the right way. I had a chance to say hello in person to Kevin this afternoon, asking permission to share information with him. Kevin is the CEO and founder of his company, Virtual Monarch, and I want to tell you, it is a bell ringer, and I will share his linkage to get to his site with you, and some information that I found there today that I was just astounded with how amazingly efficient you can be in this. And a lot of the things that we've been talking about in our classes, Kevin Camus is doing a fantastic job in sharing it, and I'm so glad to do it. Some things that I want to bring out from his website that we all want to achieve on our websites is we have to remember we need to tell our customers what solutions we're bringing. Why are we here? Remember, in our mission, vision, promise statements, that was the goal, was to tell the world what we're going to do for them. What are we going to solve for them? How can we help them? Kevin's done a great job with that on his website. I'd suggest he move it up closer to the front and get more attention, because it really encourages people to stay and to read more. And his end statement on this particular page, I say down here, don't worry, we can help. So if someone's having a stressful day with these issues, Kevin's saying, don't you worry about it, we can help you get there. I'm really proud of you, Kevin, for sharing your personal information. It is almost to the point that you are inviting people not only to start a relationship with your company, but to understand that you are dedicated to it as well. And I'd recommend it. Maybe you consider doing a video yourself, of yourself with your own face and your own voice, inviting people to come and telling them that you will try to help them solve problems. Just that face and the voice brings a whole new dimension into why people will look forward to doing business. If they think they are having a relationship with the owners and the founders and the people actually doing the work instead of just with computers, it goes a long way to get people to want to get in touch with you. I really like the way you set up your menus for people to find different aspects about your business to learn more. This is an excellent way of doing that. I hadn't seen it done before. Now, I don't recommend that we do it on a lot of our websites, and showing it to all these folks, it might be something you might want to consider as well. Just making a web page of how to contact folks and all about you and your business. Kevin's done another thing I like to preach about, and that is to have testimonials and share where you have satisfied customers. And Kevin's done this through a presentation on his website showing the different companies and organizations that he's doing business with. And indeed, they are not testimonials on this particular page, but you don't have to read a testimonial if you see that these are clients he's already doing business with, and they're notable. So very good job on that as well. Coming forward with stating your core values. You know, a lot of you may not even thought about the fact that, do I have core values? Well, they're there. There's no doubt about it. But when you search for them and you look inside your own conscious and being and willing to put it in writing for you to see and for the world to see, they become real. Until you do it, it's just a cloud floating by. But when you put your core values in writing, you're saying to the world, I believe in this and I don't stand by it. I was very impressed with Kevin's core values, the way that he put, mainly using some terms that you don't see very often, such as nurture, such as clarity. That's excellent, excellent. I may use those in the future. So thanks for sharing a great core value list, Kevin. He's also done his mission and his vision statement. And again, well done. These don't have to be lengthy. The main thing is you just want to give the good message that you do have a mission and a vision and you're going forward with it. And now we get around to, you know, we need to ask people to do business with us, to tell them we got something to sell here. And a lot of websites will give you all the nice flowers and fruit and Chamber of Commerce stuff, but fail to ask you for an order. Kevin has done something here that I think is really cool and really great, and that he's given you a menu of all the things that his organization here can do for you. Give you an estimate about what it would cost you to have it done at other places, and then wraps it up down at the bottom by showing you can have all this stuff with us for a fee that's very low compared to buying it from everyone else. So instead of spending $1,473 with different people, different programs to get these jobs done with his organization, Virtual Monarch, you can get it done for $97. Now that's a hell of a stake. And I salute you for going out there, and it is one that will get someone's attention. Remember we talked about last week the look and the hook? Well, by golly, this is as good example of a look and a hook as you can have. This is a reason to pick up the phone and call someone if they're going to do all this for you for $97. Then he lays out his menus even better, giving you better examples of what he's going to be offering and how much it costs. All this on his website. That's why when I send you the link tomorrow, I'd like for you to save it and go back to it and look at these pages for your own, because all of us are going to be setting up websites and improving the ones we already have. Kevin's got one of the best that I have ever seen in 16 years, so I'm so glad to share this with you. And then he's going to say to you, I want you to be 100% satisfied. And if you're not satisfied, you'll get every penny that you spent to me back, and that's a guarantee. And now it's an official guarantee because it's been presented to the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. So, Kevin, you're on the hook now, and we'll hold you to that. But I salute you for offering that 100% guarantee. That's great. So thank you for sharing all this, Kevin. Let's all give him a hand. Good job, and I hope that your business is up and running and doing great. And we're just proud to have you as a part of the Academy here. So I see that you're with us tonight. Let me ask you, Kevin, how long have you been up and running with this website and in this business, if you can share with us?
Yes, thank you, Steve. Yeah, I've been up and running since March. And I have been able to get some clients, and it's something I've been doing for over 5 years in IT. So I'm glad to help anyone. I help small businesses, small organizations to start up their businesses.
So if any of our fellow Academy members here tonight would like to contact you about doing business with you, welcome their call.
Oh, yes. I'd welcome them, their call, yes. And I'll put my information down there.
Okay, Kevin. Well, thank you so much for letting me share this with everyone else. And God bless you and God bless your business. I hope it goes well.
Amen. Thank you so much.
All right. We're very lucky to have that. Now, this is an example of what I'd like to do with and for each and every one of you. Y'all give me the information, lay it out so that we can share it with other people. I'll take this information now and take it to our Facebook page for the Academy of Associates and Entrepreneurs and share it there too. And then by sharing that, it's going to go out to thousands of people and hopefully give the business a little jump start. So thank you so much again, Kevin. All right, let's do a little group chat here. This is going to be easy peasy here just to get some stuff started. I want you to get your fingers wound up. I'd like to see all of you over here using the chat. And we'll do this all through the series, through this course, and to work that out. What is your favorite dessert? What is your favorite dessert? I'm going to tell you mine in a minute, but I'd like to know what is yours. Cookies, cake, cream. Type over here in chat. Let's light up this chat board and all of you share information with each other. Okay, Dominican cake, ice cream, sweet potato pie. All right, I like that. Hey, Valerie, good to have you. I like sweet potato pie, too. Anyone else? Let's key in there. Got a lot of people here. I want you to start using these chat boards. Okay, favorite desserts, writing them down. Well, here's my favorite dessert. It's banana pudding and blueberry cobbler. And after 78 years of loving banana puddings, last week I made my first one myself. I actually baked it myself, put it together, and I just had a great banana pudding. And so I enjoy making it. So if y'all hadn't ever done that, that's quite a treat to do it too. My next challenge is blueberry cobbler. And if any of you have a blueberry cobbler recipe, email it to me, and I'll certainly give it a try. I do love those too. And Michelle's saying peach cobbler's her favorite, so I'm interested in doing that. Michelle, make sure you go to that chat board and give me your email address and hometown that you're at so we can keep up with and get in touch with you. And D. Peterson, I'd like for you to do the same thing. And Larissa Lopez, go to chat, make sure I get your email address so we can stay in touch with you. And eat some banana pudding. Now, I made a promise to some of you that if you can come to the Clinton chat board round table in person over in October, I'm going to make a big banana pudding and bring it so all of you can sample my cooking, and I hope you enjoy it as well. How about sleeping now? Let me ask you a question. Do you like to sleep in a room where you have noise, they call white noise? Some people just want a dark, cool room, that's me, and other people want to have some noise in the background, the TV working or not. So what's your preference, dark and quiet, or you like a little noise? Just say yes or no to the noise issue, because I make a lot of noise, I know that. But I'm going to get to the point here in a minute. Yes. Okay, here we go. Now, getting to the point now, do you make up your bed every morning? When you get up out of bed every morning of your life, do you turn around and make that bed up? Yes or no? It's okay. Does truth will set you free here? There's no right or wrong answer. Do you make up your bed in the morning or not? Or just say, hey, I don't need to do that. I'm just going to get back in it after a while. Well, I'm getting mostly yeses, which is usually not the case. Most of the time I get mostly maybes or no's. Now, the next question is even more important. When you make that bed up, do you make it up really neat and tight? I mean, really tight. How about that? That's the question. Sometimes maybe it depends on how big a hurry you're in. How many of you make it up neat and tight? Well, this is kind of important here. And I'll tell you why I'm going to talk about it. If you've ever been in the military or married to someone that was in the military right after they got out, it's kind of something they put in your DNA, and that when you get up out of that bed in the morning, you should turn around and make it up nice and tight. And they drill that in us in boot camp, and usually it stays with folks. I never got it. I just figured it was just something else they wanted us to do. But a few months ago, I heard a Navy commander saying what the reason was that they do that on Navy ships and in all boot camps. The logic is if you get up in the morning and you turn around and you make that bed up nice and tight, and it is right, then you can say to yourself, well, I've started my day off doing something just right. I've accomplished something today, and by golly, I am proud of that fact. So maybe there's something to that. I've started making my bed up extra tight the last few weeks, and I look at it and say, okay, I've done at least one thing right today, mission accomplished on one little thing. If you have never experienced that, you might want to give it a try. It's pretty enlightening on how it can make just a regular mood turn into a pretty good mood and pretty good feeling. So make your bed up neat and tight and get your day started off with a winner. Each week we're going to have a little quote to remember. We'll be talking about on last week. Well, Walt Disney was asking us the way to get started. The way to get started is to do what? And he said to quit talking about it and start doing it. Quit the talking and start doing it. So a lot of you, if you're just getting started in your business, maybe that's the little kick in the butt that you need. Let's do more than just talk about it. And then Michael Ventura, who's a famous guy, he said, well, there's no finish line in small business. There's no finish line in getting a business started. There's only mile markers. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. Now, each finish line might be a particular mile marker that you're going to. There might be a lot of finish lines. But mile markers are important because that's how we set how much progress we're making. And that's going to come into play tonight as we talk about business planning and budgeting. And it's really important that we try to do that. My job is to be assertive. And that's not a good word for a lot of people, but through the years I've come to appreciate it because no one is going to be motivated until someone else is assertive. So I'll play the role of being assertive and try to motivate myself and motivate you to move forward to that next step that you want to get. Now, we're going to be careful here. You got to understand, I will be encouraging you to do this and that and a million other things, but in reality, I'm not going to push you to go any faster than you want to go because going at your own pace is a real key ingredient to being successful in entrepreneurship and hanging in there for the long haul. You got lots of homework challenges that you can move forward with to help you kind of get into this and get your business up and running, doing your mission, vision, and promise statements, creating a menu of your profit centers that we talked about last week. What are you going to be doing to make money? You're not going to be able to do a business plan until you do that. Then that'll come through tonight. So go ahead and do that menu and do that just like Kevin had his list of what all he offered with the pricing on it. That's a key factor. Get onto Facebook and start, and if you're already there, great. Then let's start sharing information with me and the other classmates. Get into the groove of marketing on Facebook. There's no charge to do it there. We all can have a learning lesson and share experiences there. Your toughest job in becoming a self-employed business owner is finding the endurance to stay in the game. It's a tough game. It's not easy, and it will be challenging. And I'll tell you, you'll want to quit sometimes. But you have to find the endurance to stay with it. To stay in the game is the key to being a great entrepreneur. Now, last week we talked about the 40 drill skills, which are just tips and strategies to help you start getting into your own DNA as a business owner, to start building and filling up your tool belt. I hope that you all had a chance to read through the 40 drill skills and start figuring out how you can apply them to your business. One of the things I encourage you to do is to paraphrase those drill skills and send them to me, showing me how you're going to use these skills in your business and how they might apply. No lengthy sentences, just one sentence responses are just fine, and you will start getting it, and it will make a difference to you. Each week we're going to talk about 8 of them and do that. Last week we talked about what's the deal? Why do we need a business plan? And it's to tell us What's left? Do you need a marketing plan? We do, and it's going to tell us what's next. We need to understand there's 3 different types of profit centers: bring in new customers and traffic, bring in repeat customers and more profits, and then to have some big ticket items. Those are the 3 types of profit centers, and we need at least one of each in our business plan to make our business be able to survive. The RFC, or the Raving Fan customers, who will keep you in business because they keep coming back and they advertise your business. The NDCPs, and they'll tell them we don't have a business plan, but it's going to have to be changed. I'll tell you right now, every business plan has to be rewritten and changed as you go along. We have to be flexible. No demand, change the plan. If we've got a profit center that isn't working, we don't change that plan. ABCD is telling us always be connecting the dots. It makes it very interesting to make decisions in such a way to help keep you in business with less bumps. The 3 main words that we don't remember through this course are the 3 main words that are going to make us more money than any other factor. By the way, if you have profit centers, as you're able to say to your customers, thank you for this business, and by the way, we've also got this that goes right along with it. And by the way, we've also got this that will help you complete your sale. Customers love that, and you love it because you'll be able to stack your profits by selling the same people more and more stuff. You'll learn how important diversification is when you're doing that. The 3 main rules: keep fresh bait in the water if you're fishing, and we are fishing for customers, so we're going to keep fresh promotions in front of them. We're going to keep drilling this into ourselves to remind us we have to keep sending messages out to our customers to remind them to do business. Y'all might say, well, Steve-O, I can tell that you believe in that because all these emails that you're sending to me. Well, that's one of the ways that I do this. I have to keep the message out there and encourage y'all to share it with other people to show you that's what you need to be doing in your business as well. Tonight, we're starting out with a new group of 8. You ready? When I asked you what is the best way to find customers, the answer is really simple. And this is what I want you to remember. The best way for you to find customers is to help them find you. Help the customers find you. You want your marketing effort to be like a magnet that is bringing people to you. You do not want to feel like that you're having to go out and chase and find and dig up and uncover every customer. Indeed, in some businesses, that's what we have to do, is knock on the doors and cold call and get on the car and drive for hours and hours to find customers. But we are really going to try to help get your business set up that brings the customers to you. There are a few exceptions to that, but 99% is we want a marketing plan that helps customers find us, and I'll guarantee you starting in week 4, you're going to see how that works. A truth in entrepreneurship and other things as well. Don't start out tonight, Sonia and Kevin and Geronimo, thinking that you can be all things to all people. Well, maybe if you won the lottery this week, then you could do that because you'd have enough money to do marketing to everybody and everything. But I didn't see your name on the list, like I didn't see my name on the list either. So what we have to know and say to ourselves, we can't be all things to all people, but we must be everything to some people. And when we are everything to some people, then indeed, those folks will become our Raving Fan customers. And I'll show you how to do that in this course, so hang in there, okay? Number 11. As your business gets started, maybe you don't have some cash coming in that you're not used to having a reserve. What a great problem that is to have a reserve of money. What I don't want you to do is just because the business is working and you got cash flow coming in and maybe a little extra, is to take that little extra and start spending it to pay off your long-term debts. Using up your short-term cash flow to pay off long-term debts just because you got the money to do it on this particular day is not a good move. Instead, I want you to plan to indeed build up some cash flow and put that money in a reserve account, a rainy day account, a safety net account, because you're going to have some unexpected expenses to come along. We don't have some bad surprises come along from time to time, and we need some reserve. Otherwise, we don't have to go jump in debt deeper and not plan it out. So if you have started your business and you've got some debts that you've started up that are based on good business decisions, you bought this stuff so they would make money and pay the cost of it. That's good. Stay with it and save your extra money. Starting tonight, we're going to talk about marketing and advertising, because part of our business plan will have to be the investments we make in marketing and advertising. I want you to start right now thinking it was two different words, even though we throw them in the sentences as being just alike. But in this course, we don't consider marketing long-term, the big picture. And we're going to consider advertising short-term campaigns. It's important you do that, because when we look at the different things we're going to be selling, some things that we bring on board, depending on the season or what's going on with it, we'll want to have a separate advertising campaign on a particular profit center. And that advertising campaign, it will be a piece of the pie of the marketing plan. So in week 4, we'll do the Golden Goose marketing plan, which will consist of lots of items, including some special advertising that we're doing. So just remember, marketing is the big picture. Advertising is the short-term picture. Who is the toughest and meanest competitor that you will have in getting your business started? It's not Joe Blow down the street or Sally that's in the same business you are across town. That's not the case. I'll tell you that I don't know of any businesses that have come in these classes where there's not enough business out there for everybody to make a living. But I will tell you that the thing that keeps you from getting your business up and running in the next step, most of the time, are the distractions in your own life. The things that are keeping you so busy, or always coming at you like rocks being thrown at you, is you just don't have time to focus on what you need to do to help your business get going on. I live that every day, and I know that y'all probably do too. We've all got lots of stuff going on, but until we're able to achieve being able to set priorities every day, and we all can have goals for the long term, and that's setting priorities or goals for the long term, but that's not what I'm focusing on you right now. And I sent most of you an email that was with me last week about setting priorities and telling you how I did it and wrote that out. I hope that you read it. Some of you did and responded to me. But we have to set those priorities every day. And remembering the critical factors to help get our business up and running have to become some of those priorities. And to get it going on, you have to make a promise to yourself and keep it going on. I cannot do it for you. I can pray for you, but I cannot set the priorities, because you got a lot to deal with. Children, running errands like a taxi company, I know how that is. Maybe you're a caregiver for someone, and the distractions are important. And some days it just don't work. Some days you wake up in the morning, you set your priorities, and you go to bed that night and didn't achieve a cotton-picking thing that you wanted to. I know that. What I want to say to you is, don't become disheartened. Reset those priorities the next day and give it another shot. You will learn to make it work. And now you know what? Instead of making 3 things happen before lunch, maybe you make 6 things happen before lunch. And then you'll see how it comes together, and gives you a lot of self-confidence in you can become that achiever that you want to be. We're going to be dealing with money and values. And as a new entrepreneur, I want my entrepreneurs, my Academy entrepreneurs, you to know that there's this thing called fair market value. And it's just an important term. It's like the 10 Commandments are an important term when you refer to the Bible. When you're referring to doing business, fair market value is that type of proof. In this world, people, you and I can put a price tag on anything we want and change it any way we want to, like we'll talk about next week. But there's one thing we're not going to change. And by law, there's a definition that one value is legal, and that's called fair market value. We need to remember that because we always want to buy things below fair market value, and we want to sell things above fair market value. If you know where your fair market value is on what you're buying and selling, you have a better chance. You will have a significantly better chance of making money. Because if you make the mistake and pay too much for something, pay above fair market value for it, there's no way in the world you're going to be able to sell it to savvy people and make a decent profit on it. Okay? Fair market value is the price that is established between a buyer and a seller that are under no pressure and understand the market of what the value of something is. It's important. And this is the value that holds up in courts. Okay? The L and the H. The L and the H. I mentioned that when I was talking about Kevin's website tonight. The look and the hook. Well, let me tell you, the look is there. Kevin has a good looking website. And he's got the H in there as well, which is the hook. Now, what is the hook? What is the hook? I'd like for you to go to the chat board and type this in. What is the hook? The answer is call to action. Call to action. Let me see you type that in. Call to action. That is saying I don't have items in my advertising and marketing that encourage people to call me today, to take action, give them a reason to do business with you. And as I look at your ads and marketing items, if you're not giving them a reason to call you, then you're wasting your money. If you're putting out junk that doesn't really look good and won't catch someone's eye long enough to read it, then you're not giving it the look. So the L and the H is the look and the hook is the call to action. Now, don't get us wrong, because I love you, and you know I love you, but I do want you to become a great hooker tonight, a really good hooker, the kind of hooker that starts putting hooks in your advertising, calls to action. Remember that as you're doing this, and then instead of just spending money, you'll be making investments in marketing and advertising. And if you've got the look and the hook there, let me tell you something really good, then you'll get a return on those investments. If you do not have the look and the hook and the investments you're making in marketing and advertising, you're wasting your money because it's not going to come back to help you. If it does, it will be a miracle. Call to action. Okay, that's for the 40 drill skills. Again, let me encourage you to read them all in your handouts. There's videos associated with all of them. Paraphrase them if you can, and we'll go forward to doing that. As you're starting a business plan, and here we are on day one for some of you doing this, or maybe you're already in business and have been in business a while, but you're ready to jumpstart it or restart it, or add some profit centers that you haven't done it before. Here's what I want us to remember, that starting on day one, plan now that we're going to have to make changes as we go along. Your flexibility in your planning is the key factor to staying in business. And knowing that, and knowing that in your founding conditions that you're starting your business on, making it be able to last for the long term is a great thing to do. Surviving, yes, we got to do it. Got a plan to do that. But thriving, yes, as well. And let's put it all in that same ingredient, like in that banana pudding. The better banana pudding's got these key ingredients in it. The better business plan is going to say, let's do what we got to do to survive, to get started, but also to thrive for the long haul. Thriving for tomorrow is a fantastic goal, and I want us all to have that as we're thinking now. A seasoned business coach like myself knows that it is so easy to lose that sight. We just try to see how we can make it till the first of the next month, or I hope I can stay in business 6 more months. I need some good luck or whatever. Steve over here is telling you, let's get in the mindset to put things in place that will help us thrive tomorrow without having to worry about it so much. As teenagers, we first learned that we just got tired of going to mom and dad and asking for a handout, and it was not too long before someone said to us, you need to establish a budget. You need to do some planning with this money. And there's no difference in that and in starting a business. A young business needs a basic budget to go for. Now, let me give you an example here. Let's say at this point you're thinking that if you have a revenue of $7,000 coming in, we'll say in a month, you got $7,000 coming in for your month, and you know that you got certain things that you got to buy, things you need, but you also know you got some things that you want to help maybe build the business to thrive for tomorrow, and there's some debts that's got to be paid. So if you got $7,000, you're having to split that up. In other words, you're having to budget what you're doing with your $7,000. So with the things that you need is going to suck up 60% of that, or $4,200. The things that you want will require another 30%, or $2,100. And really now, I got to pay $700 towards debts. So there's your budget. Your $7,000 comes in, and you spend $4,200 for things you need. You spend $2,100 for things you want, and then you got to pay some debts. So listen to me right now. Everybody has a budget. They may not realize it, but they do. And everybody is thinking about having to pay for the things they want and the things they need. And those things that people need, they're not going to get that money. So now, let's go in this together with our mindset. In our business, we want to make sure that some of our profit centers are things that people need. Because if you're selling things that people need, whether it's good times or bad times, you're going to have some income. If you're selling just things that people may want, then there's a chance there are some times that you won't have any income if times are really tight. The best business advice a coach can give to you is you make sure you're diversified with items that you're selling of things that people need and things that people want. That's a key ingredient for longevity and for the long haul. That $7,000 now, that got us on a tight budget. And if I can add $3,000 to my budget, if I could add $3,000, then I could get my revenue up to $10,000. And maybe some better things would happen, because if I was bringing in $10,000, I'd still need that $4,200 worth, but then I could spend $4,800 on things I want. Big difference from $2,100 to $4,800. And also I could pay $1,000 instead of $700 towards my debts. So changing our income in our budget is the way to achieve the things that we want, okay? And to give you some flexibility. Increasing that revenue, $3,000 in that budget, makes all the difference in the world. So what, Steve? What's the point? The point is, in our business budgets, if we want more income to come in, we need to find ways to generate new profit centers, bringing in new revenue, and that's what we'll be showing you how to do. Tonight, we're going to talk about 5 steps for your business planner. Securing that business plan, understanding how the profit centers make it work, and making all these serve our new business. 5 steps we'll cover. What is the business plan? Why do we want it? Can we get a planner to help us plan our goals? How about these models for different types of income and expenses? What are these models like? They're like Lego blocks. Each model is a different little block. Some represent income, others represent expenses, and you're going to be amazed at how simplified we can make this. Then we're going to put these little Lego block models together and easily create our business plan, and you can start doing that tonight. Why have a business plan? I don't want you to start out making investments of time and energy and money without having a path that you want to go on. Yes, let's have a path to go on. And if you're planning on talking with investors about helping you, they're going to want to know that path and know that you're going to be able to implement it. It's good to have a document, something in writing that you can check off on, erase, make notes with. But mainly, we want to avoid pitfalls and expenses that we didn't know was coming out of left field, and know that they're out there, know that they're headed our way, and that business plan is going to help us avoid most of them. What does the business plan answer? What is the remedy that it brings to you? I want you to consider it's going to tell you what's left. We're estimating now everything in a business if you're just getting started. We're going to estimate how much income we can bring in through the different profit centers, and we're going to estimate how much our expenses are going to be, put them together to figure out what's left at the bottom line. Is it black ink or red ink? If it's black ink, that means we're bringing in more than we're spending. If it's red ink, the other way around, we're spending too much. Your goals that we talked about last week, whatever your goal is money-wise, hopefully the black ink will cover it. And if it doesn't, then we've got red ink. We need to get it up to the figures that your business does for you what you expect it to do. And that's the business plan we want. Now, the question is, are you just doing a side hustle? In other words, you've got a good income, you got a steady job, but you want to improve your income situations and add side hustles for additional income. That's great. I've been the most side hustling guy you've ever seen for a lot of years. And my side hustles, a lot of them turned into businesses and became established businesses even. But maybe this is just a part-time job for you, or maybe it's a full-time job. So I'd like for you to go to chat, if you don't mind, and just give me an idea so I can see how this is running. Are any of you just doing side hustle, part-time, or full-time? Just type in chat either side, part, or full, and we can all see, what our crowd is tonight. Getting a lot of full-time, so that's important. And full-time businesses mean that you will need to have a business plan that is more comprehensive maybe than otherwise. So we've got a lot of sides such as that. Thanks for sharing in the chat. That's important. Is this going to be an only income, a second job, or a third job? I've done 3 jobs. I've done 3 jobs for over 50 consecutive years. I'm not complaining about it because I wanted to do it. I love to do business. I had lots and lots of children in college. I love to go fishing and boating. So spending money was worth to me having lots of jobs. So I've maintained lots of jobs along the way at the same time. So I did it. I know lots of you may want to do it. Maybe some of you do not want to do it. That's the way it is. About how many dependents do you have? How many folks are depending on you to feed them and clothe them and house them or provide funds to them on a regular basis? You got to take that into consideration as you're considering what your goals are for income when you're starting a new business. And then we're going to try to help you get a business plan to bring you success in getting that done. The good news is, and I see several of you are thinking about side hustle or part-time work. The good news is with side hustles, that means you've already got an income coming in, or you've already got profit centers or ways to make money that are coming into your life that are good. So you're at the right place, because all the rules are going to apply to a side hustle as otherwise. It's just they're not going to be quite as strict on doing that. But there's a real factor here that we have to be careful for. Knowing that adding a side hustle may be the way that you can go at this to create extra income, and have less stress, lower startup cost. Maybe you've already got some established customer contacts, and your cost of doing business will be less because you've already got a framework within your life structure already to do this. But here's where I have to caution you. Starting a new enterprise as a part-time or a side hustle, you got to be real careful not to get so involved with making new expenditures or taking time away from what you're doing really to make a living now, don't let this effort you're making with me and to create your side hustle make you lose the employment you have already. Don't become less effective at the work that's keeping your grocery bill being paid. Keep that in mind. That's why prioritizing is going to be really important that you don't say go hog wild trying to chase a greener pasture until you know for sure that things are on solid ground. Every business, every side hustle, every new project that you're getting ready to do is going to require some planning. Doing a full-fledged business plan before you're actually in business for a while is very difficult to weigh because you're always going to be guessing. I will and you will. So as we're getting ready to start this new business, let's think about all the things that we probably need to do before we can go forward with it. I was watching a world famous actress on TV this morning talking about she had started a new business this year, and she was just amazed at all the things she had to do. She thought she had the resources and funds to just make it happen just like that. But as learned, she actually said it's taken me about 9 months to get all my ducks in order, and that plays in right well with what I'm seeing now. I want to encourage you to have a planner, and we're going to give you a goal here of a 6-month planner. Let's say that you're just getting started and you'd like to have your business open within 6 months. This will be a good idea of all the things that you might want to cover and the progression that you approach that in. 6 months from now, what is that date and what does it look like for you? Is that a real figure, or maybe with what you've got going on and your priorities, maybe it's going to be 9 months, maybe it's 6 years. Whatever it is, I want you to be thinking about the planner and setting a goal and a timeline. This timeline represents the milepost that we talked about earlier. So let's take a look at it. Let's say that during the first 90 days, and we're talking about September 15th, which is right here next week, and you're getting your business started, then I would want you during the next month to determine your products and services. That's why I'm asking you to do the menus of your products and services. I'd like for you to think about what you know about what you're doing and what you don't know. What do you need to learn? And start that learning and training process for yourself. Knowledge is power. And then create a menu of the services or products you're going to offer and put some prices and details there beside it. Now, Kevin showed us really a great example of how to go about doing that, as many of you guys have done in the past. You got to do this. You can't have a business plan without knowing what's going to be bringing in the money and a guesstimate on how much money it's going to bring in a given period of time. So that's the plan for your first 30 days. Now let's look at October 15th. Who are the customer target groups? You know what you want to be selling now, but who is going to buy them? Who are the best group of customers that would be interested in what you're offering? I like to call them the low-hanging fruit. That's the people that's closest to you, that you can reach easiest and start selling these products to. Make a list of them, specifically who they are and where they are, not by name, but by groups of people. We don't call those our customer target groups. And then in week 5, we're going to take these target groups and I'm going to show you the best ways to stay in touch with them and to focus with them with your marketing efforts without blowing a lot of money. If we have target groups, then we can focus our interest directly at them. Search for the locations where your marketing will probably be most effective, and that'll help you determine those groups. And now it's time to start thinking about the general startup cost of your business. What's it going to cost you? How much money are you going to have in play when this business opens up? How much money are you going to need to have in the bank to pay payroll or expenses or such as that, reserve funds you don't have to have? And then how much do you have now? it's important to know that money that you're investing in your business now, with different things that you're buying for, it might be office furniture or training that you're getting, you're making an investment in your company. And my friends, now I'll use an important word. You are loaning. You're loaning your company money right out of your pocket, right out of your budget, your personal budget. You're putting money from your personal budget into your new company. Keep a record of every penny. Because when your company gets up and running and starts making profits, it gets to pay you back. So those of you that have told me you've been doing this kind of on the side for several weeks or years or whatever, think back about the money that you put into your company, and then when you incorporate it, you can actually declare that you have loaned the company this amount of money and document it, put it in the plan, put it in the financial statement of the company, and then the company can pay you back. The good news is, when the company pays you back that money you invested, that comes to you tax-free. It's not taxable. And if you desire to, you have every right for the company to pay you interest on that money. So if you loaned your company money years ago or last year sometime to get started, you can put a reasonable interest rate on that and the company can pay you back. It will be a tax deduction for the company and it will come to you as taxable income, but it's a trade-off. But indeed, the company is going to generate money that it's giving back to you. Really important factor. But determining the startup cost is what I want you to do now. As we look at the business plan tonight, that will be one of the factors that has to come into play. Then 30 more days down the road in November, and that's just right around the corner. I'm talking 30, 60, 90 days, but it goes by so quickly these days. You don't need to separate your money from your business money. If you don't be in business, you don't need a business account. So you don't need to think about finding a banking source that can help you have a checking account, number one. And hopefully that banking source will be one that maybe you can have a line of credit with, a credit card, receive or get wire transfers at. So a good banking source that's convenient for you and folks that act like they appreciate your business. You want to select the location. If you don't have a bricks and mortar business, you want to select the location that you want to go with. Maybe you don't have to have some property insurance to go with it. Depending on what you're selling, maybe you don't need to have some liability or business type insurance as well. So insurance is going to play into this quite much during the next 6 months. So how about that marketing plan and budget? Yeah, we're going to start on it week after next, but it's going to be a big deal. So go ahead and be thinking about it, how you're going to handle your marketing and such as well. This is all tied in on this calendar to go along with the courses that we're teaching this fall. Do you know how to negotiate and forecast? They're very important business skills. Some people say, I don't like to haggle over price, or I'm not much of a negotiator. I don't want to play those games with people. Well, get over that. You're a business person now, and negotiating and forecasting are as important a business skill that you want to own as breathing is to like living. Negotiating means that you know that people that are buying and selling build in room to negotiate. And some of them are glad to share with you discounts, but you don't have to ask for them. And I don't teach you how important that is next week. There's customers out there that will pay whatever the price tag is, and there's other customers who don't want to negotiate or haggle or make offers down to the bottom line. And we want all of those customers. We don't want to give any of them up just because we got a shortage of negotiating skills in our tool belt. So let's learn how to do that. In week 5, week 6, we'll talk about that a lot, but know now that we want to help customers talk to us about the pricing so we can start a relationship with them. Now, December 15th, just as the holidays are getting started, Let's talk about marketing. If we're going to be open on February 15th, we need to start sending out information, putting fresh bait in the water to our customers right then. You don't want to wait till you're open up for 2 weeks before you start marketing. That means that you want to wait 2 months before you get any business. We start out ahead of time, and we do it the right way, and we look and hook and all that. Maybe it's time that you get that furniture and fixtures in place if you don't have a storefront. We got to do that. Or maybe it's time you get your office equipped so that you can actually do business the right way and handle the work that's coming to you. Let me say to you right now, if you're planning on operating a meaningful business on your telephone, and I see a lot of people doing that, it don't work long. You can't do but so much on the telephone. You can't save the files. You can't keep up with the records. You can't do the planning. You can't have 2 screens like I've got here so you can do work on one screen and also on another. It's important that you just go ahead right now and find you a place to have an office, whether it's in your home, your garage, your outside building, upstairs, in your living room, probably not on your kitchen table, because I want you to have a place that you don't have to disturb every time you want to do something business-wise. Get a desktop computer or a good laptop, and whichever one you get, let me encourage you to get an extra monitor. You can do 5 times as much work with 2 monitors as you can with 1 monitor. It is amazing how it will help you. So get that equipment so you can be as productive as you possibly can. Know that there's going to be codes and license and permits to get and tax numbers. And around December, it's time to make sure you got all that in place. None of this is going to cost a lot of money, but all of it is going to cost a lot of time and effort. So that's why we need to plan for it and have these mileposts. In January, we're 30 days away from opening up. It's time to get that stock in place, to learn about our merchandising and pricing skills, which we'll zero in on next week. If you don't know how to sell your products, then it's time to learn. It's time to learn to be a salesman, because you can have the best prices and the best products, but sometimes nothing's going to happen until there's a salesman in the room. And no matter how good your website is, there needs to have a salesman in the room factor there. It's got to be that one that brings people, personality, voices that people can hear, images that people can see. Bring that into the room, because if you don't have a storefront where you're actually meeting and greeting that customer, or have a video operation with them, then it's time for you to have some YouTube videos there, or personal videos telling your story. Okay? Selling is important. What do you have to sell first? Yourself. If you sell yourself first, then you've got a good chance of selling your product. That is, selling yourself of having self-confidence that people believe you and trust you, and then your path is greasy and you can go forward with it. Now, let's do a soft opening. Let's don't wait to start our business with a great big grand opening, a big hullabaloo, and bring a lot of people in, and indeed not be ready to serve a lot of people. Let's have a soft opening where you start doing some business with customers, check out all your systems, make sure you understand what the basic questions are, and go from there. Through this whole period, I want you to start making a list of frequently asked questions. What folks are asking you about your business and your products. Make a list of those questions, and then that gives you plenty of time to come up with some real good answers. That list of frequently asked questions is going to come in real handy for you later on. Okay? Now it's time. We've got all these mileposts passed. Our markers are down. It's time to have that grand opening. And congratulations. It's a wonderful thing to do. So now the real work starts. Just because you've got a grand opening means that it's day 1 in your business, not day 90, not day 120. So now the most important thing you're going to do is start collecting information on customers. Names, email addresses, telephone numbers, what they're interested in, what they bought, when will they be interested in buying something else, what products would they like for you to have in the future. It's time to start the follow-ups. The follow-ups is the heartbeat of a business that has stayed in business a long time. Any business that's been around a long time have learned how to follow up with their customers to find out what's next and to make that happen in your marketing plan. That is the definition of the Golden Goose marketing plan that we'll do on week 4. That is learning how to get the business started, but mainly how to keep it going for the long haul with a lot of raving fan customers. So there's your 6-month planner. It is in your study guides. I want to encourage you to print it out, apply it to your particular business where you are today and what you would like to see happening during the next 6 months. What you're doing here is putting together an advanced list of priorities for you to try to go after every day. You see how this all works in that way? It all comes together that way. So this pre-planner of timeline goals, we could actually put another dash up there at the top and call it priorities. Have a list that you're going to start checking off, and by golly, you'll get there one step at a time. Promise you. This will amaze you because you had no idea when you came in tonight, Dasha or Geronimo or Nicole, that you could take the information we're sharing tonight, and by the end of the weekend, filling in a few blanks, you will have an actual business plan that you can be proud of. You can take these templates that I'm giving to you and answer a few questions, because business plans have to start on somewhere, and this is the starter. And it's good enough to call it a business plan. Now, if you're planning on going to a lender and asking for a whole lot of money, you're going to have to do some enhancements here. But indeed, this is the start. So I challenge you to accept that. If you don't have a business plan already, here it is for you. And I'm glad to offer it. And this has come together. It looks quite simple, but it has evolved over 16 years of work, because sophisticated business plans like most people are offering you and telling you have to do with 7 essential parts to it, they're all really good and they're all taught in classrooms in colleges, but nobody on these webinars want to do all that. We just want a business plan we get our business started with and understand where we're going, and then making adjustments as we go. So just take this sheet of paper, get your name on it. But, if you don't have an official business name, give yourself a doing business as, a DBA, and get started with it on a piece of paper that you can print out and get the ball rolling here. Next, you want to list, as we mentioned, the products and solutions that you're bringing with your business. Several simple sentences that just tell what your products and solutions are, where are you going to be selling, what area will you be selling in, nationwide, this community, that town, whatever, spell it out. Who do you think your general customer groups are going to be? We're going to call them our targeted customer groups later on, or our niche markets. Put it on a piece of paper, list it out. Do you have a business that's a seasonal business? Will certain seasons be more important than others? I don't tell you the answer is yes. Whatever your business is, it will, the seasons will affect it. And now is the time for you to give that some thought into what are you going to be doing in January versus July versus October versus November, so that your business will be more effective and more attractive to the different seasons that are going on. How are the holidays, Valentine's, New Year's Day, Christmas, Halloween, July the 4th? How can the holidays make a difference in your business? When you think about them now, then you're going to be able to utilize the best marketing tools for look and hook. Not thinking about them or just say, well, they're going to come whether I'm in business or not. That's true. But so many people plan their buying and their expenses and their gifting depending on the holidays or the seasons. A savvy business person is going to play right into that and put it right into your business plan, how you plan to cope with that. What is your planned opening date? Go ahead and put it in writing. You're talking mainly to yourself here, but at least have an opening date. Then you can go back and have that milepost of how you're going to get there. You don't need to have a section here that says basically how much money you're going to need to start up. How many of these resources do you already have that you need to start, and how are they going to be used? What are your profit centers? What are your marketable profit centers? How many times have we spoke about that? Why? Because it's a key factor for your business. We're going to estimate the revenues and expenses for the profit centers as well as all the other aspects of the business. Got to estimate it, put them down. And then I want you to say in writing, to date, how much have you invested in getting your business started so far, money-wise? And spell it out. Because if you spell it out right now, you're starting that important list of what the business owes you and will pay you back, because you're loaning your business that investment money. Now, if you notice you don't have to have a loan application, there's some more stuff you don't need to do. You want that startup budget that we talk about tonight that you can put together, and you'll need a financial statement, which is a summary of your assets, liabilities, and net worth. If you don't have a personal financial statement, you want a blank one, just let me know. I can send it to you. They're easily available on the internet. So there you go. Print that out, list down, put a sentence or two behind each one of those statements, those topics, and indeed you've got a business plan started right now. Save it, because you're going to be adding and taking out stuff your whole business life. It never ceases, the changes that have to be made. And the person that's making those changes, you are forecasting. You're forecasting where you need to go. So let's get into budget planning now. We're going to do this by using models. Well, we want a tool that helps us do this budget. And the budget's going to come to us when we use these different tools, where we list down our 3 types of profit centers that we talked about. And I want you to have at least 5 profit centers in your business. 5 different ways that you can spell out that you're going to bring in some income. And then we're going to talk about how diversified they are, because we know that the more profit centers we have, the more positive cash flow we'll have. The more cash flow we have, the more manageable budget we'll have. And for each way that we're going to make money and for each way that we're going to spend money, we're going to call that a model. For each way, each type of different expenses and income that we have, we're going to call those models. The models will be represented with little Lego blocks, as we'll see in our different graphics as we go. We'll have income models on the left here and expense models on the right. Let's say we're talking about a for-profit business now, not non-profit, but for-profit. We'll list down all of our different types of income, and we'll group them together. For example, here our models for new customers, bringing in $3,900. Package deals, whatever they are, $21,900. Got some big ticket sales here for $58,000. So our income as we're getting started here is $82,600 over some kind of period of time. We'll call it 6 months. $82,600. But now for the first time, we're taking a realistic guess. Realistic guess. I know those two words don't go together, but that's what we have to call it. Our expenses for debt payments are $37,000. Expenses for insurance premiums almost $15,000. We got payroll and labor to pay out, and our personal salaries $84,000 going out. So wow, $136,000 going out and $82,000 coming in. That means we're in the hole for $54,000. That's not good. But here's the truth. Most brand new business plans that you start on look like this. And because our expectations of income become real when you're doing this budgeting, and we have to figure out how to make that happen. So we have to know that we got to change this business plan or we're not going to be able to be in business. So what do? We need to add $75,000 in income. Just that simple. And it's just that simple. We can do that by adding some more profit centers. got to work harder, got to do some more work, but yeah, we want to bring the money in. And when we do bring in $75,000 additional money, our budget then shows a $20,000 surplus instead of an $80,000 deficit. Yeah. The way we improve our business budget, just like we did our personal budget earlier, is to find ways to increase those profit center incomes and do it. Once we have them identified, here's what your business planner will look like. We'll list down each one of those ways you're bringing in money and describe them by name. Specific names that they're doing. Some of these profit centers for bringing in daily traffic, let's name them for that. Some are to bring in new customers, let's identify them for that. Let's bring in those that we hope to make us high margins and list them as such. Items that we're doing strictly for repeat business, listed as such, big ticket sales and so forth. We'll do the same thing to do with all of our different types of spending, our expenses, including our one-time startup cost, debt payments, cost of doing business, general cost. In other words, we're going to specify our estimated expenses and subtract them from our estimated income. The bottom line, as you see at the bottom of the line, is what's left. That's what we needed to determine, is what's left. What's left, hopefully, is going to meet our expectations, and if not, it's time to know demand, change the plan, make the changes we have to do and do them in advance. Now, if indeed you're talking about a nonprofit business, maybe that's what you're thinking about doing, everything that we talked about here pretty much applies, but nonprofits have some determining factors that are not like for-profit businesses. And for those specifics, you really need to attend webinars, seminars, visit classes that really get into the nitty-gritty of nonprofits. Now, in your study guides that are emailed to you, I've sent you a lot of information to help you understand what's involved in getting a nonprofit started in North Carolina, to give you general information to help you get started. Very valuable and good information to do it. I'm glad to share that with you, all the things that you have to do getting started, including a number of, looks like 4 or 5 videos here that dive deep into it. And so I'd encourage you to spend time on each one of those videos if you're thinking nonprofit business is what you're going to be doing. But nonprofits make money from other places than just retailing to customers. They're all about incomes coming in from special needs groups, faith groups, veterans organizations, scouting groups, PTO. A lot of different types of groups are nonprofits, and you may be a part of a nonprofit and don't even realize it. If you go to church and you're contributing to the church and wondering how the church runs its business, the church runs its business as a nonprofit, which applies to a lot of what we're talking about tonight. They get their money from a lot of different places, different than profit groups. However, a for-profit business can take advantage of some of these things as well. Not all of them, but some of them. These basically that are listed on your screen are the grants and contributions that people make because it is a nonprofit and because it is tax deductible. But they also other ways that the nonprofits make money. And on these things, you indeed can do these in your business. On the proceeds that you make from it, you would need to pay taxes. But indeed, they are great ways to have fundraising. Everything from turkey shoots to street fairs to drawings and silent auctions. You're not limited to not use these types of revenue generators. The nonprofit budgets are affected the same way. These are real numbers from a nonprofit in Clinton, North Carolina. In 23, their budget ended up coming in $19,000 short. In other words, they estimated they'd have $136,000, but indeed spent $155,000. So when they did the next budget year, setting forth for the next budget and planning, they had to change the plan, look for new ways to raise money. So indeed they did that, brought in an additional amount of money so that their projection was having a $7,200 surplus instead of a deficit for the new year. And I'm so happy to say that they indeed achieved this in 2025, operating with a black ink on the bottom. Things are going real well. My friends, each and every one of you, this is a new word for you tonight. I want you to consider it one that you're going to own and one that you're going to look in the mirror and say, I am a savvy entrepreneur. You're taking these skills and you're putting them to work. It's a new day. So be savvy and make the adjustments you need to do in your budget so you can make it work. I want to give you an insight, if you haven't been there before, on how important it is to realize the basics in getting your models going, a good understanding and examples of how to make those work. So if you're selling products, we're going to look at a 6-month plan that I can give you, and you can do this yourself, where you will come up with a sheet of paper or a computer file where you'll list down what that product is, what that profit center is, how much each item is going to sell for, how much revenue you think it'll generate, and what you think your expenses are going to be for this profit center. We'll list it down for each one of them. And we're going to take that and we're going to work it out to determine if I go through with this plan, at the end of the plan, how much money has this particular profit center made for my company? We're going to use an example, used cars. Everyone's been through the mill with a used car from time to time. Several years ago, I started buying used cars and found great values there. However, the system is a real good example because at a used car, when you see it at the lot in your hometown, it came from an auction somewhere. And over on the left-hand side, you see the pictures of the people who represent the dealers that are there to bid on the used cars as they come through the line. And the people over on the right-hand side are the auctioneers. You can watch this on TV on some of the cable channels. Each one of these dealers have been out on the lot or in the big building, and they checked out each one of these cars before they come through the line, and they already know if they're interested in a particular car and how much they're going to bid on it. They know the high bid because they already have in their mind what the fair market value is and what they can sell it for. Once they buy it, they carry it back to their lot, put the flags up, and offer it for sale. One of the most popular used cars on every used car lot, probably in America, is a car that will sell for $6,000. That is that second car. That is that first car that people buy for their children. That's that car when times get tough and you need something that beats walking. That's maybe the price range as you buy it. So every used car lot is going to have a $6,000 car on it. And every used car lot, when they went to the auction to buy it, that dealer did not pay more than $4,000 for it. He knew that the fair market value on it was probably $5,000, and he wasn't going to pay more than $4,000 for it. And he's not going to sell it for less than $1,000 above fair market value, so that gives him his price range. If he bought, and most successful car dealers will be able to sell 15 of these cars a month if they're in a good populous location. So if they sell 15 $6,000 cars a month, they're going to generate $540,000 over a 60-day period, almost over $500,000 in just one type of used cars. When they do that, they will spend $360,000 to bring in $540,000. So that means this model for $6,000 cars is generating $180,000 revenue for the company. One type of vehicle, 1,000. So it's easy to see how these big ticket items can add up to some big money. A lot of folks just don't really have a clue on how much revenue can be generated with a small business. Why do we not call that $180,000? I don't want you to call it profit. I want us to call it margin, because this is simply the margin that this one model is making for us. Well, take that model, plug it into the blocks as I showed you earlier, and take the other models, $10,000 cars, $20,000 cars, boats, whatever it is, put it into a model to determine what your estimated value is. Selling time is different than selling products. When you're selling time, basically what you're doing is trading time for money, and that will take a different type of model look. If you're into trading time for money or selling time business like me here tonight, like lawyers, dentists, people mowing grass, people pressure washing, painters, beauticians, barbers. They're selling time for money. And your business plan, I would suggest, should be based on 4 days a week. You want to determine that you need to meet your business plan on 4 days a week if you're selling time for money. That gives you 3 more days, number one, to make up for rainy days or equipment breakdown or cancellations, and to give yourself some time to be a person, have a family, have someone you love, have time to go to church, have time to charge your battery. So plan your budget on 4 days a week. That'll help you in 4 weeks a month. That said, we're not going to have it 16 days a month that we have to work to meet our goal. Then you have to tell yourself how much money you need to bring in per week, how much you need to have left at the end of the week to spend on things you have to spend them on. Let's say, and I just pulled this out of there, that number is $2,400 a week is what you want to have left to pay your bills. If that's the case, then every day for 4 days, we need to generate $600 a day, right? All right, let's see how that looks. And if we generate that $600 a day, and we may do it with different clients, different customers, different things we do, we need to determine how much each day value is and have appointments. The calendar in selling time for money is your main tool. Your calendar and the way you manage it is whether or not you're going to be successful selling time for money. Making appointments and having schedules and doing your best to have each day to bring in a certain amount of money above your minimum. And you do that strictly by making your appointments in such a way that do that. You may have someone that is calling you and wants you to do something for them that is worth $300. And therefore, you know that's going to be the general value. So you try to schedule that appointment on a day that if you can have that $300 customer come in and maybe another $300 customer come in, you'll get your $600 or more. Some of your customers may only pay $50, so you would want a lot of them to come on Wednesday, so to speak. Some of your customers may be doing things that are worth $100, so you would plan on bringing those 6 people in on a Tuesday. And as you plan your budget over a period of months, you will be able to work it out so you can look at your budget days and make sure you're bringing in the income each day that you need to make your budget work. This will take some time. But the good news is, after you get good at it, you're going to start filling up this calendar. And when you fill up this calendar, that's when you'll be able to start another calendar for an associate or an employee to start doing that work, and you'll start making twice as much money as you do that. Just keep that in mind. Your calendar is the key factor. Now, if we're bringing in that money, let's say that your job is a graphic design and you have clients that come in from time to time, and each day you want to bring in that $600, and you do that for 96 days, 6 months, you'll bring in $57,600. And if your daily expenses are $200 a day, that means you'll have a $19,200 margin at the end of 6 months. And over a period of time, that means in that 6-month period, you have $38,400 left. That'll be your margin. $19,200 was your expenses. That's right. 6 months, $38,000. It's amazing how this adds up. So we'll take all those numbers and plug them in just like we did before with the different numbers, and it will probably come up with a negative balance until you make the adjustments on it. But whether you're selling time for money or products, you'll take the models, put them into the different lines, and it's going to be so easy for you to see how that cash flow is going to be working out. And then you'll have a good business plan to start on it. As you're doing this, and if you have problems with it or questions, don't hesitate to send me an email. Let me know, show me what you've done, what you're facing with. Tell me the type of business you're working on, and I'll be glad to help work it through you. I enjoy doing that as part of the gratification for what I do. I think that I'm probably the only coach and presenter in the system that volunteers to do this for you at no extra charge to you or to the Small Business Center. So make it work for you. Make it work. There's a graphic in your handouts that you can pencil in information and see how it can work for you as you go for it. So let's wrap this up. Let's wrap up number 1200 now. Going through all this information, what are the mistakes that most people make? What are the mistakes that I made? What are the ones that maybe you're going to make as well? First of all, we got to remember, as we're buying items, as we're paying for things, we're probably going to have to add sales tax to it. So don't forget to add in the cost of sales taxes to the items that you're buying, because that money's got to go. And as you're paying employees or yourself, maybe you're adding in things like Social Security or workman's comp and other employment type expenses above and beyond the salary amount. You have to take that into consideration too and plug that in. Don't forget that if you are borrowing money, there's interest to be paid. Or maybe something in your business plan is going to require that you are paying interest. Take a close look at that and go back and add that in if you need to. When you get your insurance premium as a business, generally you'll pay your first premium 2 months in advance is generally how you get started out with a new insurance company. Don't forget to see how much that monthly premium is for the rest of the year and plug that into your plan. That's an easy one to forget. Don't make the mistake of not putting any money aside each month. Plan a savings. Plan a certain amount of money that's going into a reserve account, rainy day fund, something to help you prevent unexpected expenses from putting you out of business. And I'll tell you right now that a large percentage of the businesses that don't make it but just a few months, this is the reason why. They were operating on a shoestring budget with no reserve, a bad business plan or no business plan, and an unexpected expense came along and just put them out of business. It might be a truck blew up or went down. It might be someone got sick. It might be an air conditioning unit went out. Sometimes the littlest seeming thing can put a pretty good looking little business just right out of business. If you don't have the money to back it up, or a plan or a reserve or credit lines, then you're on really thin ice, and I don't want to see you there. And thinking that just because you were in Steve's classes or you're attending all these webinars and seminars and classes and you got certain degrees, that everything is perfect. My friend, you can have good days, great days, sunshiny days, but you're not going to have everything perfect as an entrepreneur. There's always a competitor or a distraction or a curveball headed your way. It's always there. And we'll learn not to worry about it if we've got good risk management tools in place. But never get to the point that you think everything's perfect and you can just do what you want to do. It's not going to happen. Your success is our goal. Joey Wynn and I both are so committed to your success. We'll do everything we possibly can to make it happen for you. So next week on Tuesday night, if you're one of our Tuesday night people and planning to be here on Tuesday night, next week we're going to dive into pricing your products and services. Tonight, we just basically showed you how the prices might work for you. But next week, we're going to talk about how to actually put together a retail price. What I'm going to preach to you and do not want you to consider as okay and perfect is to be able to say to your customers, here's the price, take it or leave it. Here's the price, take it or leave it. That or leave it is saying to the customer, you can go on somewhere else if you want to, I don't care. Well, Papa Steve is going to say to you, let's don't give them that invitation. Let's give them our pricing structures in ways that let our customers know they've got options. There's different ways they can approach it. We're perfectly willing to help them to afford to do business with us, and we'll give them options to do it. When you build in room in your price tag to give discounts, when you build in room for your and your price tag to pay for your marketing expenses, then by golly, you're going to be able to survive for the long haul. If you're setting out to say the only way I'm going to survive is to be the cheapest lady in town, the cheapest price than anyone else, I'm going to be cheap, 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 like Walmart, indeed, you're basically saying, I'm not planning on staying in business more than a month or two at a time. In other words, you're planning on surviving because you're going to be the cheapest person in town, therefore you feel like you're going to get a certain amount of business. And indeed you might. But you're not going to ever be able to build up any reserves to grow your business. Indeed, if your pricing is to say, I want to have pricing that I have room to discount and to still make a profit. I want to have room to talk to my customers and to encourage them to talk with me. Then you're saying, my pricing structure is built to enhance building customer relationships. And it's those relationships that keep you in business for the long haul and help you thrive tomorrow. Okay? Now, this is going to go on next Tuesday night, but the rest of the story is you're going to do it tomorrow night as well. So if you want to join us back tomorrow night, you're going to be welcome, or you can join us for both nights, tomorrow and next Tuesday. So let your light shine, my friend. Let it be a beacon to everyone else. Show the warmth and the light and the way to come to see you. Next thing I want to say to you is thank you all for being with us tonight and for staying with us. See someone on the screen here as an unknown. I hope you will go to the chat board and type in your name and email address and the town that you're at. Thank you for staying with us for the whole time. It's good to have you. Remember that we have to charge our batteries sometime. We have to give our bodies and our mind a chance to rest. Be still and know that you can't handle everything on your own. Find inspiration where you find it. I find mine with Jesus Christ, who's my Savior. Even though I am a sinner, I know He helps me every day and helps me recharge my battery. Wherever you find your inspiration, let me encourage you to do it. Whatever your religion is or how you do it, because entrepreneurs that can recharge your batteries and come back refreshed and full of endurance, ready to go, can show that customer that you're excited and feel good about doing business with them. That's an important factor. That's why I enjoy talking with Kevin tonight. I can tell he's so excited about his business, and so many others of you are as well. Sonia is with us tonight. She's real dedicated and excited about hers, and I appreciate all the work that they do. Edna, thank you for being with us again, and Valerie, as always, one of our most gifted and valued members of the Academy. Good to have you with us from Wilmington. So how about some comments from you folks? Tell me what's happening with you, and welcome to the fall season. Aren't these cool nights nice?
I want to thank you so much for introducing all the new people today, all our new attendees. We really appreciate everyone being here. I like the diversity we're seeing this time, and everyone's jumping in and talking. I'm really excited about this fall, and Steve loves to see businesses really do well. I'm one of those businesses. I listened to everything you said, and I'm doing pretty good. And it's some things in here that I looked at and I thought was a great idea. So I'm sending you all my things that you requested. You should receive them between tonight and tomorrow. So I'm working on everything, and I really appreciate this class, and I definitely appreciate Steve. Thank you so much for supporting small businesses.
Thank you, Sonia. We appreciate all that you're doing. Consuela, I appreciate your note today and glad you can make it with us. How are things going with you?
I'm good. I hope you...
That's good. Now, I sent those to you that were here last week a challenge about trying to get a priorities plan in place to help you every day set at least 3 priorities towards the most important things you need to get done. Several of you wrote back to me and said you'd give it a try. Did any of you actually go through with it and experience some progress with setting priorities on a daily basis? The truth will set you free.
I haven't started on it yet because I have to look and see what all I have to do before I start, make me a list first and then start, divvying out what, priorities on each day.
Oh, man, boy, that's talking out of the side of your mouth if I ever heard it. How about that? But I appreciate it, so keep working on it. Procrastination will get you absolutely nowhere.
I ties myself so well that now I'm taking Sundays off. I'm not doing Sundays anymore. I've always wanted to do that, and I'm taking Sundays off and attending a church near me now.
That's a good priority, and I salute you for doing that. All right. Any other comments? Let's see. Valerie, you go ahead, and then we get Johanna.
Okay, I want to thank you for doing the classes again, and each time I take them, I learn something new. I have implemented a lot of new things in my business, and it's getting me more leads, and I am meeting more people and doing more things, and you are the only instructor I know that will give up your time sacrifice and give of yourself so much to make sure not only Sampson County, but any county or anyone attending wherever they're at, that they are successful. And I thank you for sowing into my ministry and encouraging me. And I am doing some other things, even though I don't always respond back to you because I've been in so many classes, but I always enjoy when I can because I always get a new nugget regardless of what class I'm in. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie, and I appreciate you all through the years. It's been great. And Johanna, what were you going to offer?
So thank you so much for everything that you're doing. I wanted just to say thank you, but I have a quick question and I guess a comment. So this is a lot of material, and my ADHD is getting the best of me. Is there? I know that I am seeking counseling by Felicia. I believe her name, Felicia. Is there any way to take your material to her so that she can help me, or maybe set up an appointment to meet with you? I don't know. To kind of hone in on a lot of the things you're saying, only because I do a lot of customized designs and customized things. So just a couple of questions. Like, I don't even know how I would price my stuff. So I'm just a little wanting to get a little more detailed into how I can get help with this.
Good question. Well, first of all, you ask, can you take my information and share with someone else? The answer is always yes. I'm glad to share it even with other instructors. And if it'll help you and Alicia, I'm so glad. Now, pricing your different items, the first place to start on this question is going to be tomorrow night or next week, getting a good basis, a foundation of how to establish your prices. And then we'll look at individual items that you have and help you go with it. Sometimes the way that you come up with a price, especially for crafting and modeling or styling, is looking at what the fair market value is, number one, and then number two, how you can name it and price it to increase that pricing. So there's a lot of wrinkles in that game, and I'll be glad to work with you on it.
All right, awesome. Thank you. So I will definitely email you. I appreciate everything that you're doing. This is a wonderful resource, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Johanna. Edna, glad to have you with us tonight. I hope things are well with you this fall. It's good to see you back. Okay, Geronimo, again, I'm glad to have you tonight for the first time and several more. I hope y'all all will come back tomorrow night and or next Tuesday night. It was good to have you. So for now, I'll say good night. God bless you, and thank you for being with me on my 1200th presentation. Tomorrow night will be 12:01. I won't mention it again till next year sometime. So everybody, good night. God bless you and your family and your business. Take care.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good night, Steve.
Good night.
Same to you. Good night, John Boy.
Good night, John Boy.
Sounds like the Walton family, doesn't it?
Yeah.